all these things to be going, and it's just completely insane. Um, Let me know if you heard what I was talking for like the past 5 minutes, because I'm not sure. Drop in the comments. Let me know if you heard it, because I pretty much was talking for like 2 minutes, and I'm not sure if you guys, like heard me and stuff like that. I forgot to enter the studio, and I just did it right now, so my bad on that. Let me know if you heard me about the whole Snyderverse and all that stuff real quick on the comments. All right. If you didn't hear me, then I'll go ahead and I'll repeat it and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice if we were to get the Ben Affleck Batman movie. But did you guys catch the first few minutes on this? Because I'm not really sure with what you guys heard and stuff like that. But all right, so let's rewind it real quick. This whole thing with Sasha Kaye, she came out and she's talking about that, she was promised, um, they were gonna do more things with her, and she's bummed out, she's disappointed and stuff like that, which is understandable. This studio, it's completely a mess, and by now they just lied to everybody. They've lied to us, the fans. They've lied to everybody, and we just can't be putting this up anymore. Honestly, as fans, we need to come together and we need to straight up express ourselves and send a message to this studio. This whole reboot with James Gunn is not going to work. And, every time we find out more and more that this studio robbed us and they lied to us, because it's just crazy. It really is. They're just picking and choosing what they want and what they want to move forward. But then when they want to try to please us, the fans, they don't want to give us what we want. Again, I'm going to repeat, the first segment, because I'm not sure if you guys heard me. But one thing I really want to talk about is that yesterday it was a trending event for that Make the Batflick movie. I'm gonna get right to the point. Um, it was Halloween. That kind of got in the way, and things happen, so that's understandable. But it really didn't trend, and I'm kind of let down with that. But then again, you have to see the other side, because look, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's way too many hashtags. There's just too many hashtags right now, and what we need is, as a community, that we need to just stick to two hashtags: restore the Snyderverse and release the air cut. That's it. We don't need 30, 40, 50, 100 hashtags to send a message and prove our point. We're already winning, because we as fans are coming together and keeping our wallets closed, and it's finally caught up to the studio. And the studio knows that we, the fans, are the majority, and we will not accept what they're trying to give us with this whole reboot and stuff like that. What we need to do is, as a community, still use the hashtag of restore the Snyderverse and release the air cut. When we were fighting for the Snyder cut, we only used one hashtag. At the time, it was release the Snyder cut. And now that we got it and it's fulfilled, everything is ready, then now we're fighting for restore the Snyderverse. That's why we have to keep on using the hashtag, and I'm encouraging everybody to keep on using the hashtag along with release the air cut. You use both of those, and that's it. Let's just stick to that. We don't need 100 hashtags. It's overwhelming. It's too much. It's getting out of control. I've been seeing so many people put in posts, and it's just wild, and it's completely ridiculous. It's getting way too out of control. I think what I'm going to start doing is that I'm going to be organizing these, trending events more or less, to try to get things going, because right now I can see that there's a lot of people that have given up already. I see channels that are switching sides and they're jumping the ship because they just want to go ahead and just get clickbaits. And you get what I'm saying? Like, they're turning their backs. I see it. I can see it. There's so many channels, and a lot of them have grown their channels off of the Snyderverse. And it's sad to see that happening, but it happens. These things happen. People tend to do that. People flake out, and it is what it is. But the real ones are still here, the real DC fans, and we're going to continue to fight and do what we're doing. And that's, like, that's the bottom line. There's no stopping us, honestly. Um, we're getting closer to this whole reboot. Officially, it kicks off next month with Creature Commandos. I'm not going to be watching that, honestly. And if I watch it, I am not paying for it. I'll probably watch it on some other account, that's not mine. So just so you can see where I stand at. I'm not looking forward to nothing of what James Gunn is doing. I'm not interested in anything that he's going to be putting out there. We already know that it's DOA. Superman at the box office next year is going to tank harder than everything that we've done, and we need to start doing this again, organized the way that we fought for the Snyder Cut. We got the Snyder Cut, and we too are going to get the Ayer Cut, and we're going to get the Snyderverse restored. Now, look, there's a lot of people that have been talking, saying, "Hey, let it go, move on, blah blah." The same usual bark as always, because they're intimidated. They know that we will stop at nothing, and they know that we're going to get it eventually. We already see a lot of people that quote unquote support James Gunn, that they're turning on this whole reboot, and they're like, you know what? I was wrong. Yeah, you were wrong because we didn't need a reboot. And they're starting to realize, people are starting to finally realize that it's not going to work because it's starting off bad. And once they see next year at the box office how bad Superman performs, because it's going to tank. All these people that you see that are saying, oh, Superman's going to be the biggest, best thing that's been done at DC are completely in denial. And we're going to show them that at the box office, nobody's going to be watching it. Those seats are going to be empty. If you think Joker 2 was bad, that's a preview of what's to come for Superman in 2025. Those ticket sales are not going to move. People are not going to fill up those seats. And then the quote unquote, all these fake DC fans that always say that, yeah, we're going to support it and this and that, watch how they do not show up to the theaters, because this is completely from the inside that's just being destroyed with this Trojan horse that's James Gunn, and it's just going to flop. It's going to tank. It's going to do really, really bad at the box office. I wish I could tell you otherwise, but it's not, honestly. What up? What up to everybody? Appreciate y'all. All right, so to everybody that's come into the chat, there's something I really want to talk and tell y'all about. This whole thing with from the trending event from yesterday. All right, so moving forward, most likely I'm going to be organizing and getting all these trending events, and I'll tell you guys why. Because there's a lot of people that are using way too many hashtags. Yesterday, it didn't go so well with the whole trending event. I don't even know if it trended because I never saw it that it was trending when the times I went on. We need to stick to restore the Snyderverse and release the Ayer Cut. That's it. We don't need 1,000 hashtags. We don't need nothing extra. We just need to send a message with those two, because everything else falls under it. The Batflick movie, the Cell, all that stuff just falls under restore the Snyderverse along with release the Ayer Cut. It's just overwhelming. It's confusing. There's too many hashtags and people don't know which one to go to, and people's attention spans are just completely like very short, because of course you got social media that's making everybody so impatient. Everybody wants everything right now and fast and stuff like that. So starting like now and moving forward, I'm probably going to be organizing all of these events and sending out messages to everybody and stuff like that. I know there's another one coming up next month and things like that. There's nothing for this month that I know of. I haven't seen anything. I'm probably gonna set something up and start doing that, because we need to send the message, and I see that we do better whenever is restore the Snyderverse, and of course with release the Ayer Cut. But when it comes down overall to it, we as a community need to stick together, and we need to keep on fighting for the Snyderverse. Like, there's too many hashtags. We need to stop that. We need to chill with that. I appreciate and I see that, but let's be real. We don't need 1,000 hashtags to send our point and send a message and stuff. We just have to stick to what the goal is, and that's for restore the Snyderverse. We will get the Ayer Cut in due time, but it's up to us. Again, the same way that we fought together for the Snyder Cut, we too have to do the same thing for the Ayer Cut and stuff, so we can get it eventually. And I get it, a lot of people are switching and changing and slowly jumping the ship, because now they're trying to go for clickbaits over to James Gunn, trying to support it. You see some fans that are in denial, that they're kind of confused. They want to support the DCU, but they want to get away, and they want to now support the DCU with James Gunn, but low key they want to support it 100%. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna stay true. I don't care who says what. And I've been getting all type of insults. It's all good. I got thick skin. So when all these haters come out and they start saying all these negative things, all I'm gonna do is just keep on fighting and doing what we do best. Because since day one, I've been keeping it real, and I will continue to keep it real. And as we continue to grow, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, because we're here, united, making all these moves and making things happen. All right. WB is aware of my channel because remember that video that I had posted with Darkseid? They hit me with a copyright. So it is what it is. But that just shows you that there's somebody that they're watching. And I'm sure that they're listening, or they probably have their little, uh, their little rats, if you want to say, and, sending and telling them, hey, look, this is what's going on. Yeah, we, the fans, are going to prove to you in 2025 when Superman comes out from James Gunn, how bad it's going to perform. Worse than Joker 2. You think Joker 2 was bad? And in less than 30 days, it's already on streaming. Superman is going to go less than 20 days to streaming. You know why? Because the consumer, the loyal fans, and the customers are tired. We've had enough. Enough is enough. Stop trying to force us to accept this new reboot. Stop trying to force us to accept whatever it is that you're trying to do. This is not Marvel. This is DC. And DC has always been dark. Don't come here and try to change it and try to make it bright, try to make it colorful. It's not working and it's never going to work. It has always been dark, and leave it at that. That's where your fans are wanting the most. If it wasn't dark, then why all of a sudden now you have Batman Absolute? You have that whole series that's almost like if it was with the Dark Knight Returns and with what the Snyderverse was with that tone. You see what I'm saying? Like they're trying to still go dark, but they don't want to acknowledge and give the credit. So which one of the two? Now imagine you were to do that in the cinematic universe like you were doing with Zack and David Ayer. I mean, the profits are going to come in, the money's going to come in, your stocks are going to go up. But since you, WB, the studio with DC, refuse to give us the fans what we want, then it's only right that we the fans unite and close our wallets. That's it. We're going to keep our wallets closed in 2025. It sucks, but that's what we have to do because for all these years we've been putting up with this studio and they've been trying us and they've been doing us dirty. And not only us, they've been doing the cast, the directors, everybody that's been in all these projects, right? They said one thing, they promised one thing, and then the studio always has to go in and screw things up. But notice how they're not doing that with James Gunn. With James Gunn, they're allowing him do whatever you want. Here's a free pass. No, it doesn't work like that. If you're gonna do what you always do in WB, you need to do it with him too. You screwed all these universes up. You need to do the same thing with James Gunn. And if you're not going to do it, then we, the fans, are going to take it upon us. Simple. How? We keep our wallets closed. That's it. You see how easy that is? We keep our wallets closed and we prove to you at the box office. We did it with Joker 2. We did it in 2023. We're doing it in 2024. And wait till 2025 how everything is going to sink faster than what it is right now. You think things are bad? Ha ha ha. You haven't seen what is coming in 2025. That Superman movie is being so rushed and they're trying to cram everything into that movie. And notice how now they're talking about Supergirl because, of course, James Gunn, while he's there in charge, he knows that he has his days counted as head of DC Studios. So, what is he going to try to do? He's going to try to cram and rush everything to try to be like, you know what? I'm leaving my mark. I'm gonna leave my legacy because the day when I'm not here, and probably he'll be back at Marvel because we know he's gonna go back to Marvel. Let's be real, people. Wake up. James Gunn in the end is a Marvel fanatic. He's in bed with Marvel and Disney. And what he's gonna do, he's gonna go back to them because by the time we get Secret Wars, what do you think? That we're not gonna get Guardians of the Galaxy? You have to have them. They've already been established. What do you think? James Gunn's just gonna leave that for somebody else to pick up? No, wake up, people. James Gunn's gonna go back the same way like when he was working with the Suicide Squad, and he's gonna go back and forth and see, oh, this is what we're doing. Oh, that's what you guys are doing. Let me bring that over and let's work on it. The same way that Joss Whedon was doing while he was on the set of Justice League. That's why we got into that mess. Again, we the fans will keep our wallets closed. The studio is going to feel the true power of us real DC fans because when they see that their numbers are not selling, their stocks are not moving, and none of their tickets are selling in 2025 for Superman with this whole reboot that they thought it was going to work, that since 2019 they've been planning behind our backs while Henry Cavill was there, while Zach was there, and everything with the DCU. What happened? They were already planning a reboot. So surprise and jokes on them because in 2025 we will get them the same way that we got Joker 2. It didn't work, it's not working, and it will never work. Either you restore the Snyderverse or you're going to be forced to do two things, and I've been saying it for a while, and we're getting closer. Two things are: one, they're going to be forced to sell the whole division of the DC property. And that's what probably Comcast is going to come into play. But they're not going to do it yet because, you know why? Because David Zaslav is trying to tax what he's trying to sell the studio for. It's not going to sell. It's not going to sell at the price he's trying to do it because he's trying to cash in now. It doesn't work like that. We're going to get you when your stocks are at the lowest. And let's not forget, the lowest stocks that we saw were back in June, that they were at $6.99. That is bad. That's the lowest that I've seen it. Right now, it's just been floating between 7.18, 7.24, but it doesn't pass no more than that. And then the other day that it reached to like $8 or something like that, but it's not making it past that. Notice that it's on a steady decline every time more and more, and it's not going to go sky high. All these toys that McFarlane is going to be putting out with Superman, we already know they're going to hit up. They're going to hit the clearance section, and they're going to be at Ross, and it's just not going to sell. It's not. We have that Weasel statue that's right now still available for pre-order, and nobody's buying it. With the Ben Affleck Batman, that 1/6 scale statue that they had sold out. So what does that tell you? You know that with the Snyderverse, it's going to make money, and with James Gunn, it doesn't make money. You saw the video that I posted the other day. It's on one of my shorts with the Suicide Squad. Those items and the merchandise doesn't sell. So again, we the fans are gonna stay united. We're gonna keep on winning because that's what we do. And let the people say what they want. That's fine. But everything is with the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. When people say and try to come up with excuses and say, well, Peacemaker didn't do well because of this, excuses, I don't want to hear them. I don't want to hear them anymore. Honestly, that movie tanked, accept it. Peacemaker is trash. Nobody cares about that. The Penguin, it's trash also. I've seen all 6 episodes and it's boring. That's all it is. It's just a Sopranos and Godfather ripoff. All they're doing is just throwing in Batman in it. That's it. We've already seen that with Gotham. Give us something original, Matt Reeves. Oh, that's right. You can't do that either. The same thing trying to copy Christopher Nolan with his whole Dark Knight universe, if you want to say. We, the fans, have spoken, and enough is enough. Now, when it comes to everything and where we're at right now, things are about to shift in 2025. I'm telling you guys, this whole thing with whatever they're trying to do with this reboot, it's not working. They know that it's not working. So, what happens when you know something is not working? You need to have a backup plan. If you don't have a backup plan, what's going to happen? Disaster awaits. That's it. And right now, we're already in that mess. WB allowed James Gunn to do this reboot. WB allowed Joss Whedon to try to replace Zack when the things happen with Justice League. WB continues to hire people from Marvel. That's the problem. You continue to hire people from your competition. This is not going to be a Marvel crossover with Disney and the MCU. No, this is DC. It's always been DC. It has to be dark. It has to be gritty. It has to be the tone that we have it. The Burtonverse was dark. The Snyderverse was dark. The Nolanverse was dark. You know what didn't work, and that did work? Batman and Robin didn't work. That's like the Marvel formula of the 90s. Batman Forever didn't work. Again, like the Marvel formula, it didn't work until we got the big three that were nice: the Burtonverse, the Nolanverse, and the Snyderverse. Those three all made money, and they still continue to make money. The other two, they didn't work with the Schumacher verse, whatever you want to call it. It just didn't, because it was so happy, bright, colorful, cheerful. It was silly. It was goofy. Nobody cared about that, not even in the 90s. And the 90s were badass. Now, today, they're trying to do the same thing. This is just going to haunt the studio down the road. And when we look back in the timelines, we're going to do the same thing like we are right now. We had the Nolanverse, the Burtonverse, and the Snyderverse. They were dark, they were gritty for their time, and they're still good to this day in 2024. That's crazy. Over 30 years, and they're still aging correctly, right in total. Now, when you look at what happened with Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, everybody always tells you it's corny, it's cheesy, it's cringe, it's embarrassing, honestly. And the same thing is happening right now with what's going to happen with James Gunn. It's starting off bad. There's no excitement for it. And the little handful of fans that James Gunn has isn't, and it will not save DC. It didn't save Joker 2 at the box office. It didn't work. And the same thing, it's not going to work with James Gunn's Superman. And notice how he hasn't even brought up his Batman, and now how him and Matt Reeves are working on the dynamic duo or whatever. This is going to be, and it's going to backfire on this studio, because two things are going to happen from those two things. Like I said, one, Matt Reeves in the end is either going to walk out, or he's going to have to join James Gunn's DCU with his Batman. Say what you want, and I get it. Some of you fans of Matt Reeves and that whole universe and whatever has to do with that. Remember, every time James Gunn speaks, it's a lie. He always says something and it happens. When he has said, and he did that poll about, oh, we're doing a poll. Do you want to see Superman with the trunks or no trunks? And don't worry, this is not going to affect the final costume. And what do we have now? Superman with the trunks, because majority voted for Superman with the trunks. And now he's saying that they're not going to have certain things, and the same thing with the dog. Remember, with crypto, oh no, we're not gonna have crypto, and what do we have now? We're gonna have crypto. I think the same thing happened with Supergirl at the early stage, and what do we have now? We're gonna have Supergirl. So in other words, if you want to say Justice League International is the kickoff to Superman, that's exactly what we're gonna be getting. A complete mess. And then people complained that Batman versus Superman was overwhelming, that it had too much. No, it didn't. It was setting something up great. But the studio were impatient because they wanted to be, and they're still trying to be like Marvel, going after that Marvel formula. That works for Marvel, but it's not even working for Marvel anymore. Look at how things are going over at Marvel too. Their boat is sinking also. And then now here at WB, the boat has been sinking. So what's going to happen? Two things need to happen. Either you sell the studio forcefully because now your profits are not making money, your investors are upset more than what they were before because now there's no revenue coming in, and your merchandise isn't selling, and neither is your movies with the tickets and stuff. So what do? What's your backup plan? You're going to have to restore the Snyderverse if you don't want to sell the studio or whatever that division is that you try and to make money off of. And this is where I think the Comcast takeover is going to happen. Comcast is just quietly watching as they continue to sink and go into oblivion, with their stocks, so they can come in and they're going to do GameStop style. Why do I say GameStop style? You go to GameStop and you try to trade in your new console. They're going to give you less than what it's worth. And that's the same thing what's going to happen. So if their shares are at, let's say, for example, a certain number, they're going to wait for that number to be probably half of half so they can go ahead and buy. Because remember, WB has a huge, large debt. Their debt is more than what their profits are. Barbie didn't save them. Dune 2 didn't save them. And they made $1 billion. And where's that money? Gone. Because the studios is so much debt. The same thing is going to happen with James Gunn. It's just going to cost and backfire on WB. It's already happening. Nobody's interested. Nobody is really excited for it. And again, the handful of fans that James Gunn has is not enough to save it. We're already seeing it. We're already seeing it happen. Those numbers are not lying. You can't lie at the box office, but you can lie with streaming numbers. And that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to get everybody in and say, oh, Peacemaker is the best, most watched show of all time. They're going to do the same thing with Creature Commandos. They're going to try to fabricate lies and say, you know what? Everybody's watching Creature Commandos. It's the number one show that's streaming. One, because nothing else is probably going to be around during the time it releases. And two, of course, these people are going to watch it. Why? Because they have a membership already. If people have a membership, is that going to stop you from watching it? No, you're going to just check it because you're curious. And probably after the first episode, you're going to be, this was so stupid, And that's what's going to happen. The first episode is probably going to get a lot of hits and it's going to get watched because people are curious. They want to see. But when people see by episode 2 how ridiculous Creature Commandos is going to be, those numbers are going to tank and they're going to go lower and lower every time. And that's what's happening right now with the Penguin. They're trying to make it and build it like, oh, it's the most watched show on streaming. Yeah, because there's nothing else to watch. That's why. So people are bored. Clearly, they're going to watch it. Now, if Marvel was to come out with something right now, I guarantee you they wouldn't be making the numbers that they are right now because people will be watching the other one. So it would affect WB. Right now, if you want to say WB is taking the lead, but it's all coming to an end because again, they're trying to lie to the fans and say, "Hey, everybody's watching this show. If you're not watching it, you're missing out on it." I'm not missing out crap. I've seen 6 episodes and I'm not impressed. I can't wait for the Penguin show to be done and over because that shit is boring. It's boring, honestly. It completely is. It's just trash. The actor, he plays his role good. Colin, he plays it really good. But the show itself is just missing something. It's boring. I don't know. For me, it's just boring, honestly. And with this whole thing, with this reboot, prepare yourselves because we're in for a comedy with Superman. And it's sad to see how some of these fake DC fans want to see a Superman in the underwear talking to a squirrel, saving cats, and probably doing. He's probably gonna be doing some raunchy jokes in this movie. Let's be real. It's James Gunn, the weird mind of James Gunn. You know, but we already know we're going to keep our wallets closed. There's no stopping us. We, the fans, will win. And in the end, victory will be ours. Look at now how you see Sasha Kaya, that she's coming out and talking about that she was promised and she's bummed and she's sad that she's not going to be able to play Supergirl. Yeah, James Gunn lied to you. I mean, what part didn't you miss? Look at this other jackass. What's his name? The one that plays Shazam, Zachary Levi. Look at where he's at right now. His movie tanked so bad that not even Sony wants to put it on their streaming platform. What is it? The Purple movie, whatever it's called. Nobody wants it. So what does that tell you? And he was kissing so much ass to James Gunn, saying, "Yeah, my friends Peter Safran and James Gunn, and you know it's gonna be the best," and blah blah blah. And look at where he's at right now. He's not even being considered to reprise his role in the new DCU reboot. That tells you everything. That's how shady this company is. That's how shady these executives and these corporate people are. They don't care. They really don't care. But again, let them enjoy their 5 minute of fame right now. Go ahead, do what you're doing. But at the box office, again, and I encourage everybody when Superman comes out, especially with the trailer, get ready to hit that dislike button. We're going to hit the dislike like we did on the Acolyte for Disney and all these other movies that they try to force us to accept. We're going to hit that dislike. And if you see that the dislike is disabled, it's because they fear us and they know that we, the fans, are going to speak loud. That's what I'm telling y'all. Don't be surprised if you see the Superman trailer and they remove the dislike button so you can't dislike it because they're going to be scared and they're going to see how many people are going to dislike it more than they liked it. Creature Commandos just hit 1 million views. Wow. After a week? Wow. That's sad. That's really bad. Honestly, that's really bad. Okay, good. You hit 1 million. That's it in 7, 8 days. It took you that long? Ha. Zack Snyder puts a post and the internet goes wild. It's insane. That tells you everything. See what I'm saying? But let's keep doing this. Let's keep on fighting. Let's stay focused with restore the Snyderverse and release the air cut. We'll leave it at that. And, there's no stopping us. We will keep on going. And, these salty clowns know that there's no stopping us. And it will happen in due time. When Superman flops and it doesn't work out, WB is going to rethink their strategy and see what they're going to do. Because after the DCU flops, what's next? Either you sell it, meaning the whole DC division or your studio or probably the whole company to whoever wants to buy it, or two, give the fans, restore the Snyderverse, you release the air cut, you make some money off of it, your profits start going up, your merchandise continues to sell like it's been selling out. I mean, it's not rocket science. What's the problem, WB? Your ego? Put it to the side. It's been already 10 years. Just give the fans what they want. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all go. I appreciate y'all for watching, tuning in, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next video. All right, y'all stay up. Appreciate y'all for watching.